Who's my ideal video game character body build? Honestly, Kratos from God of War. Like, I know it might be a little bit unrealistic, but like, it's partly because he's got the beard as well. So today is going to be part of the Crash Course stream. So the HyperX Crash Course streams, the idea behind this is that while you guys are stuck at home in lockdown, we can enjoy some streams and we can learn some stuff in the process. So the plan for now, we're going to be doing a full body workout. So if you guys want to get involved, all you're going to need is a resistance band, ideally. You can use them to add some difficulty to some bodyweight movements. You can of course use it to add like resistance profiles to positions where it would normally be easiest in your movements. If you can only buy one thing, they're normally super cheap on Amazon and you can use them for so many things. If anyone wants to get involved, by all means, I'm gonna explain it, follow along, just be safe. If anything feels uncomfortable, don't do it. We're gonna do a set of push-ups on blocks with band on first, then we're gonna ditch the band and basically do as many reps as we can following that. So, get your band, twist it once so that it doesn't come off while you're doing things. Put it behind you, it goes over, arms go between there, and then let's say you don't have a band and you want to do what I just did. What you can instead do, using body weight, you can add a pause into the bottom of it and hold here, 1, 2, 3. You then still kind of get the stimulus that you need because obviously you're recruiting the necessary like motor units, but you don't necessarily have to have equipment. There's a lot of things that you can do with just body weight. I'm gonna do Pike Push-Ups. So the Pike Push-Ups, I'm gonna do it from using a stool and a bench. And a Pike Push-Up is, if you do it in a normal format, getting into as high a position as you can from here. I'm pressing like that. But as you'll see in a minute, I'm gonna use the bench for it just so I can kind of get more range of motion in the shoulders. Hands on the surface, up in a raised position like this, and you're using your shoulders more. This is a shoulder press, more so than chest press. You can always go to your knees and then push from there. Same thing with like if it was a Pike Push-Up. So let's say for example, you didn't want to go and risk dipping yourself too far over the bench. You could raise your hands up on something else instead and just make it so that your incline isn't quite as high. So you don't necessarily have to go up like that. You can go more to sort of there and then push in a slightly safer, more comfortable position. So, and then you can build yourself up to familiarise with the feeling of it without having to put yourself, because what you don't want to do is just be like, all right, I've seen someone do it on a bench, I'm going to do it on a bench, and as you rightfully said, then hurt yourself in the process. So it's about building up to these movements. And we're now about to go and do banded leg extensions and heel elevated goblet squats. So, leg extension, if you guys think about it in the terms of if you're in the gym, one of those machines where you sit in and you put your legs out like that, the kind of that thing, we're going to mirror that using bands and a bench. And then afterwards, the only other thing you're going to need is something to elevate your feet, which in my case is going to be the Red Dead Redemption strategy guide. You don't need it. Basically, the reason we're doing this is because when squatting naturally, if you squat without a heel elevation, still do it, fine, but naturally your body will lean forward slightly, whereas by having a slight elevation in your heel means you can be more upright. You want the band? The band needs to go in the back of your knees, like that, as you can see, and then you're going to go down here, so the band is behind your knees, your hands are on the floor, and then you go from this position to this position. The squats, for example, with just body weight, you get down to here, you go up to about there, back down again, and then full rep. So it'd be, and you do that for your full set. You're gonna feel it. So the way you breathe, make it easier to do the exercise. Generally speaking, you want to breathe in when you go to do the motion, and then out when you basically need your force, effectively. What you really want to do for like good breathing, it's the same kind of breathing you do in meditation, is you want to diaphragm breathe. So you breathe in through your nose, and you can feel it more in your stomach, so you can be like, because then that allows you to breathe deeper. If you guys haven't seen, like me and Socks launched a channel called Video Games. What we want to do with our channel is try and make fitness exciting, accessible, and enjoyable to kind of people like us, just like realizing that I look at fitness in a very similar way to the way I look at like video games. I break it down kind of in a gamer style way. You know, the most recent video we did on nutrition talks about how macros are kind of like real life XP points, right? And one of the things that I realized when I first started working out is that I used to watch a lot of videos from people online who, they were very knowledgeable, but because they're ripped, you're just like, I can never get there, because at the time you don't understand. Now I understand all the process. I'm like, that is very possible. It's years of work, but it's very possible. Whereas a lot of the time, I would much rather listen to someone that's like me and just be like, you're on a similar journey to me. That's a lot more understandable, believable, kind of relatable. So that's what we're trying to do with video games. We're just trying to be like, fitness is fun. Fitness and gaming can go hand in hand. Hope you enjoy it. And then now, of course, the other thing is like, the most important thing to kind of talk about is like nutrition. Because nutrition is one of those things, right, where you can work as hard as you possibly can in the gym. But if you're not eating right, there's the age-old saying that you can't out-train a bad diet. Yeah, it's difficult, Jay. Like on a budget where you don't necessarily have too much money. But that being said, here's one of the things. This is one of the things that, like, again, I really want to sort of try and help with like video game stuff, because a lot of the time you go online and you look at like healthy eating websites and they'll tell you got to eat organic stuff, you got to eat this, you got to eat that. All this stuff costs £1 bajillion. Nah, that stuff is rubbish. Maybe if you're at the high level and you're like an elite level athlete and you're a bodybuilder getting ready for stage and you need to worry about those tiny details, for most people that stuff doesn't matter. But ultimately, if you have a goal and you want to lose weight, you need to be in what they call a calorie deficit. So basically you have your number, everybody has a number of calories they will burn per day, like, and it's different for everyone, but you'll have that number, and quite simply, if you eat less than that, you will lose weight. If you eat more than that, you can put on size, right? Now, obviously within that, there's some fine-tuning elements, and if you check out the latest video on video games, we go over that, but principally, you want to make sure you retain muscle, so you eat your sufficient amount of protein. Outside of that, you need a certain amount of fats to make sure that your hormones are balanced and everything you have necessarily what you need, and you fill the rest with carbs. So even if you don't have a massive budget, like, you know, a lot of things that I eat aren't even that expensive. I just live on like a lot of chicken and rice and spinach, or it's true, Jay, like a lot of unhealthy foods are a lot of the time cheaper, but you can still definitely pick up like packs of chicken breasts relatively cheap, packs of like kilogram bags of rice, things like that. So this is a Tde calculator, right? This is used to work out basically how many calories you burn in a day. So I'm 29. No, I'm not. I'm 30. I'm getting old. I'm joking. 30 is not old. I'm currently 205 pounds, and I'm 6'3". And my activity is, at the moment, because I'm not like as, I'll say moderate. I do work out like 6 days a week, but let's go with that. I happen to know that my body fat is 15%, but you don't necessarily need that. So you calculate something like this, right? And you'll see that it tells me that on average, I burn 3,220 calories a day. If I sit in this chair and I do nothing, that's what I burn in a day. Like, so if I were to eat 3,220 calories a day, I will neither put on weight, nor will I lose weight. If I eat below that, I'll lose weight. If I eat above that, I'll gain weight. What you can see is, as you scroll down here, you can see that like, you can click on this calculator and you can say, all right, I'm cutting. Typically, if you're cutting, you throw in something simple like a 500 calorie deficit. Cut that number down to like something like 2,700. Eat 2,720 calories a day. You're in a deficit, and you're then going to start gradually working towards your goals. You don't want to go anything crazy, because some people might look at that and be like, all right, if I eat 1,000 calories a day, surely I'll be there quicker. No, because your body still needs a certain amount of stuff, and if you start eating, if you cut your calories crazy, your body's going to suffer as a result. So you want to do, like, ultimately, slow and steady wins the race. You want to do this gradually. Like, weight loss that happens fast is not weight loss that lasts. So you want to kind of do this as a gradual process. So you would set up something like this, and you would say, you know, one of the best things for fat loss is high protein. High protein, you want protein anyway to maintain your muscle mass, but also protein is quite a satiating food, so often it leaves you feeling full. So you could take something like low carb. You could take, you know, X amount of protein, X amount of fat, X amount of carbs. You can adjust it accordingly. But really, if you want to make things super simple, you work out your calories for the day, you get in sufficient protein, which on average is about a gram per pound of body weight. So I weigh 205 pounds, I try to eat 205 grams of protein a day. I then get in the minimum amount of fats, which healthily for males is around about 70 to 80 grams of fat, give or take, to make sure you're kind of maintaining your hormones. And you can fill the rest with carbs or you can boost it up. And once you start doing that, then you can start making some progress. Caffeine, right, has a half-life of 8 hours. Half-life of 8 hours, that means that, let's say you drink 200 milligrams of caffeine, right? 8 hours later, there's still 100 milligrams in your system. 8 hours after that, there's still 50 milligrams in your system. Caffeine sits in your system for a very long time. So some of you guys that love your caffeine, like chugging Monster left, right, and center, and then wonder why you can't go to bed. Let me tell you, you don't normally want to be drinking coffee this late or any kind of caffeine.